Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to continue today to work on some Parrot's Beak in ice cream containers, and as you can see, this one has degraded quite a bit. The plant really doesn't seem to care, to tell you the truth. Parrot beaks are pretty tough critters. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut away all the long leggy growth. And once again, I do a lot of videos where this is kind of an oval container, so there is a front to the container, but I'm going to bring the front of the tree up into here and bring the line. I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking of bringing it up into here. And then of course I could also bring it up into here. But I think I like this line better. So if that's the case, this one comes off. And then I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take this branch here and only cut it to about there as the first main branch. So it's going to come up and then out. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Even though this branch is really heavy right at this point, you see there's a bud right there. So I'm going to cut it to that bud. And so then it will come out here. So I'll have branches that come up and then out, and then up and then out. And as long as you have some continuity with that, it can be okay. And that guy needs to be wired into place. But now we have some pretty nice movement. And I think I'm going to put some of these in bonsai pots. I still have the pots out from the ones I chose from in the first video that I just did the other day. So why not? And I'm probably guilty of premature bonsai potting, but I'm okay with that, so it's not that big of a deal for me to put things in bonsai pots that are maybe not quote-unquote ready. So I'm going to choose a pot and pot it up. First, I'm going to wire the apex up. And I won't have excess wires sticking the way out. Life is good. Now, this looks all alive, but I'm really not sure if it is. And there was some dieback on some of these trees in the winter, but that's okay. And he's pretty. That guy needs to be wired too. Ooh, he poked me. They have quite nasty little spines right at the petiole of every leaf. But typically, once you start as a bonsai, then you don't really get a lot of spines because you're constantly pinching off the new growth, and the spines really only occur as the new growth elongates. So I'm going to wire this guy too. This part of the branch isn't going to move much, and I don't really think I need to move it much because my main branches are at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, or 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. You get the idea. So just going to bring this guy forward a little bit, like that. And then you can see this bud is perfectly placed to come out into here. Then we remove, I suppose you could call it a pot. Actually, this one's just as paper thin as the last one. Remove the pot. start raking out the roots. Oh, and here's the pot I've chosen for it. So I think that's a pretty nice pot for this size of tree. This one's going to be a little taller than the last one. Go, 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 go. Healthy roots, there's no doubt about that. That's got one really funky root right here that needs to come off. So we're going to do that. It's got very nice mabari actually. A couple more roots here that I want to take off right here. But really, it's pretty nice radial rooting. And then we just put the pot and grab the bonsai soil. And I usually like to make a little mound. And then put the tree in there. And I don't normally mound the tree up, because if you do, the soil is just all going to erode. You can grab the soil container and bring it around, so it's easier. To put it into the pot. Oh yeah. Oops, oh come on. Of course I could start over and edit that out, right? But hey, it's not that big of a deal. So there you go. One newly potted parrot's beak. And I'm going to do this with numerous others. I may do parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, so the video isn't 45 minutes long. So there's number one. Here's another one with some pretty wild growth way out there that of course I'm going to cut back. And the pot is also paper thin. So we're going to take the pot away. This guy is much drier. We have had incredibly dry weather here. Virtually no rain in about a month. I think we had one rainstorm. And this guy I think I'm actually going to keep the front as the front. Not going to change it. So I'm going to take this little piece off right here completely because it's too low. Conceivably I could have made a new tree with that. And then I like the way it moves here, and so I'm going to take the long leggy growth off to make a new leader, and then take off this one here because it's growing too far forward. And then I'm going to take this whole piece off here and then cut this piece to right, oops, there, and then finish off with my scissors, cutting that piece way back. And then I have, now there's only one branch, but that's okay, it will grow. These guys grow like crazy, they really do. He needs a little tiny bit of wire, very thin wire. such a small branch. This is the thinnest wire that they can have, 1 millimeter, just to bring this guy a little forward, and then I'm going to pinch out the end. So, nice movement. The tree's going to end up being, if this is a third, the tree's going to be considerably higher. So then let's find a pot. I think I use this one here, because that's just about perfect. Almost exactly the same size as the root ball. Yeah, get in there! Okay, we're not going to do that, but very close to the same size. So I need to prepare this pot because it has no screen for the drainage hole. And then I'll be back and we'll put this guy in this bonsai pot. Prematurely, I suppose, but gonna do it anyway. The pot is prepared with just some window screen. The window screen works for me. You can use the, I think it's called macrame, the plastic stuff, but window screen lasts just as long. It's virtually indestructible. It's plastic, it's just as plastic as macrame. It has a smaller mesh. So for larger trees I use the macrame screen because the larger mesh helps for drainage. But for these little guys, the window screen works perfectly fine. It's funny how that last one had very nice moist soil and this one is dried up. Parrot beak can take quite a bit of drought actually, even in a bonsai pot. Need to reach around and get my scissors. Ah! Put the tree back kind of in the middle. Get rid of some of these roots that are shooting up. This one also has a very nice root system, very healthy. And like I joked that you could just jam it right into the pot. So once we cut these roots and we place it in the pot, it can no longer be called jamming. Oh, there's another funky root right there that hit the bottom of the pot and started going every which way. We'll take him off. And a couple of roots that are going the opposite direction of what we want. That looks pretty good. Decent root ball. And then reach around for the bonsai soil. And start putting it into the pot. And I think I'm off camera here, so let's go like that. I made a joke in another video, I need a producer. And a producer for me is basically someone to hold the camera. Tell me where I'm going. Hey, you're nowhere near in the shot. Looking good. Reach across and grab the soil again. That's all the soil. At least in that container I have giant amounts of soil stored up. But that worked out perfectly, just exactly the right amount. I love when that happens. So there's number 2. Maybe I should bring him up like that so we can see him behind the whole background. There we go. Premature bonsai potting at its finest. Here's an interesting parrot's beak because it has no leaves. It looks dead. And in fact, portions of it are dead. All the small growth down here is dead. That is dead, and this is dead. And I think that this is dead too. There's a nasty little spine. There's a perfect example of a spine on a parrot's beak. Nasty little critters. This is not a spine. That's just dead growth of that guy right there. Oh yeah. That guy could draw blood. So now we're looking at this thing. It's like, what in the world is he going to do with this? Well, first of all, in another video, the video where I potted up the first parrot's beak, I chopped all these guys. So this guy was like way, way out. And that's where all the foliage was. And since they're all jammed together, it just doesn't have any foliage. This is all alive here. And it was alive probably another foot. So we've got some decent movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it to here. And I don't think this guy really warrants a bonsai pot. But that's going to be the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and put him back in a training pot. You know, I cut to that little tiny bud that will come out here, so give me some more motion, create a tree. It'll take longer than the others, but that happens. Whenever you do a group of cuttings, you get trees that are A quality, B quality, C quality, and the trees that are F quality are the ones that are dead. So not much more time to spend on this guy. Just going to put him in another pot, which I won't even show you. So here he is in his brand new ice cream container, which I actually ate the ice cream out of in September of 2023. And he's got a long way to go, but I think with the motion and we get some branching in here, it'll be a nice tree. When I say nice tree, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think it's nice. I do bonsai to please myself, for the enjoyment of watching a tree grow and develop and changing the style and manipulating the branches to get the trees that I like. So when I say nice tree, you may think something different. Here's another one that also has some nice movement, but you can't see it. And it has also grown. You know, I chopped the tops off, but I didn't chop the side off. So, and as usual with the way I do things, I'm chopping about 90% of it off. So you see the tree, I like it up into here and into here. We've got a perfect little leader there, some nice taper. Gonna cut this guy here to this little bud right there, which will shoot out like that. Remember, every leaf has a bud at the petiole that's going to extend exactly the way the leaf is facing. So I'm going to chop it to there. Now if you'll notice, there's another little piece. Let me use my scissors. There's another little piece right here, and it's going to shoot straight up. So I really want to get rid of him because I want it to go that way. And then this guy is the same way. These are going to be the first main branches. We'll probably make the front more like that. And I'm just going to take this guy off completely. This part is actually dead. But we can still take this little guy. So I'm going to take him there. Okay, now there we go. Decent little tree. For the future of a decent tree. The way I like to see my trees. And whoa. I think we need to zoom in now. Of course I can't do that while the camera's running because I have a dinosaur camera. Of course I guess I'm a dinosaur, so that makes sense, right? So we're going to shut the video down, get the pot ready, and then we'll put it into a bonsai pot. I've decided to put it into this round pot. It's got really nice markings. It's obviously a hand-thrown pot. It has a chop mark on the bottom. Don't know who made it, but it's a very nice pot. And to get him in there is the same process. I'm going to put the pot over here for now. Get rid of the paper thin. It's funny how that plastic film that covers the paper of the ice cream trays persists for quite a while. And then chop away the old soil. This soil is beginning to degrade a little bit. It's not that bad though, it really isn't. I've done some other videos where I've rescued plants from really bad soil. Which I need to do some updates on those because they've recovered quite nicely. Okay, there we go. That ain't looking so bad. We have a big root here that needs to come off. And then the rest I think is just, I know there's another root here. This root here comes shooting straight down, so we're going to take him off. I think I've said in the other video that parrots beak root from cuttings very easily. And so I find that with there's another root here that's going to cut off. It's going to have almost nothing left. But it'll recover because they just root so easily. But they also take root pruning very easily. And I think I used the soil as a mound because I couldn't really see the pot. Okay, so there we go. Where's our front? Well, in a round pot. Well, a round pot has either a front. Well, actually, this has 4 feet. So the front could either be there with 2 feet showing or there with 1 foot showing. And I think I'm going to go for 2 feet. And then we're just going to put him in there. Oops. Find the front. And the front, when I say the front, that can change too. Over time, as the tree grows, you can have the front change possibly numerous different times. You know, there are a number of different reasons. One is that you might get some damage, or a branch might die off. Another is that it's just going to look better, styled with a different front. In fact, I've seen articles where they've taken 100-year-old trees and changed the styling, changed the aspect of the tree, you know, changed the way it's leaning and completely redid a tree, and it was 100 years old. So that's not uncommon. So there we go. So that's it for this video. I'm going to stop here. I've got plenty more to go, but we're going to stop this video right here. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will be showing updates of these guys as they grow and develop. And leave a comment if you'd like. And that's it for this video. The birds were not happy with me. I don't know if you noticed, they've been chirping virtually the entire video. They're mockingbirds. The other day I actually saw a mockingbird chase a hawk. The whole block. I mean, the hawk was sitting on top of the roof of my neighbor, and the mockingbird came and just shooed it away. Followed it easily the entire block as far as I could see until they were out of sight. That bird, that little tiny bird, was chasing the hawk away. He's like, get away from here. So, pretty interesting indeed. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.